Okay. So nuts and bolts, like what sets you apart? What do you guys do to provide that wow experience, and what makes you guys each different from the average agent out there on the street?
Probably, I mean, a lot to do with questions, asking questions, getting deep with people, asking why that's important, and then why that's important, and then why that's important. You can really get to know them, understand what's important to them, and get to know them on a personal level. And then you can provide more of those wows because you know what triggers them.
I think experience, having been in the business for 15 years and around the business for 30, it's being, knowing the business inside and out, knowing the contract, how to use it as a tool to protect either your buyer or seller, I think is very important. I think they're impressed when you do that. Collecting information about them. We were talking about, database, if you guys have a database, top producer. My mom used to write on note cards, just any little notes or information she could find, just had them in a Rolodex, talking about birthdays. I don't mean just to go off birthdays, but just little facts here and there that you can remember about a client. Something that they wouldn't expect you to remember. I think anytime you can wow them in that way, like, I can't believe you remembered that.
Well, some of the feedback that we get from our clients is, you guys are so on top of it. Well, it's not like we personally took time for you, Hannah, and made sure that when you made your offer on your house, you had this particular experience. It is a complete system. And they don't know it's a system because they don't see the back end of all the time it took to build the system. It's just first step 1, then step 2, then step 3.
Can you walk us through what those steps might be?
I was just getting to that.
Okay.
Glad you asked. Yeah. No, we have completely templated emails. And so from the time, like, let's say that Ron goes on a listing appointment and he comes back and he drops the contract off on my desk, the first thing that I have is an email that goes out, but it's a video of myself saying, this is who I am and this is what I do and here's my contact information. And though I have no relationship with the seller whatsoever, I haven't even picked up the phone and talked to them yet, I'm sending them a copy of their contract, I'm ordering their photos, I'm doing all of this stuff on the back end. And where this comes from, and a good example of this, is a seller dropped off a key to his vacant property on Monday, and I wasn't here. So Courtney went up, our transaction coordinator, and said, oh gosh, sorry, Elizabeth's not here, but I'll take that for you. And he's like, oh yeah, Elizabeth, I know her, she's great. I talked to the guy on the phone once to arrange the key drop off, and I sent him the video that says this is me talking about myself. And now he already knows me, and I'm great. Go me. That's the kind of wow customer service that I'm talking about. It's a very simple thing to do. It's very easy. I didn't have to do a song and dance, although I did have to do a video.
And how hard was that for you to do the video?
To do the video? Oh, it was very easy.
Okay.
I have, trust me, I'm more nervous talking in front of 50 people like here than I am doing a video. I'd rather do a video because that's one dude in the camera.
Jesse, something that you said yesterday is that, to kind of not just necessarily counter what Elizabeth has said, but that you create, it's about replicating a feeling with your client.
I
mean, I think, I'm not sure which part you're referring to, but I mean, having that person are you talking about having them?
Well, you said it wasn't so much the steps, it was about I'm wanting to duplicate an experience for them and how they're feeling.
I mean, I try to kind of replicate the same steps. I never fall out of contact with my clients, whether it be buyer or seller. From a buyer standpoint, you're typically used to contacting them maybe on a daily basis for a month and a half during that buying process. Then you go under contract, you do inspections, and then there's a gap almost between closing. So I always try and contact them a couple times during that time period, just to say, hey, I miss you, miss talking to you almost on a daily basis, just to stay in touch with them. And I think that in itself is kind of a nice feeling for them to get. You haven't forgot about them. You're not just there to get them under contract, get the inspections done, and wait until closing, see you then. But staying a part of their transaction throughout that, let them know that you're doing behind the scenes stuff. But I think as far as replicating the feeling, if you can keep just let them know that you care and you're staying on top of it. I think that resonates with people, and I think that kind of holds them to you and pleases them a lot. I think,
Anything to add to that? What sets you apart? What sets you apart?
As far as the wow factor stuff.
Yeah, what do you think makes you special?
Get me started. I've got a couple examples I can give you.
he wouldn't shut up yesterday.
Of course, it's case by case and everybody's different, but for example, I had this one, it was a younger couple. They are coming in from out of town looking at properties. They've got it narrowed down to a few, but they want to bring the family in to go, you know, the parents from both sides and a couple uncles or cousins or whatever. Everybody's coming, there's a huge party coming down. And we want to go show them like 10 houses, and they're going to pick one today. So we got this problem. Nobody's got cars. They're all flying in. So I've got a friend of mine that has an ambulance that he uses for tailgating. So I got that. We went over to the hotel. We loaded all the family in the back of this ambulance and went over to the houses. I had a blast, and I put some cameras in it. So I made a marketing piece out of that I was able to use over and over again. So that's one example. That was cool.
That's awesome. So how do you guys communicate this great customer service with your clients? Do you let them know up front that you have these, you know, this awesome system, or how do you guys talk to your clients about your experience in your customer service? Or do you?
Yes, we walk around with a big sign saying, "We're great." No, it really is, it has to be, I don't want to say it has to be a surprise. You have to walk into it. You can't just blast it out there for everyone to see. If you tell people how great you are, no one wants to hear that. They want to discover how great you are.
Show them, don't tell them.
Right.
You know, there's an old adage, you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I mean, if you go on an appointment, or you get back from that appointment, send a quick text or an email. Hey, great meeting you and your family. I look forward to working with you. These are a couple more houses I pull up, whatever the case may be. But go above and beyond. I said yesterday, there's that under promise, over deliver. Don't ever under promise anyone. Over promise, but over deliver for them as well.
We talked a lot about listening.
Yeah, listen.
When they're talking about their family, their friends, their pets, whoever happens to be, the best thing that you can do is listen for the details and then show them later that you were paying attention. And didn't you mention the dog tags?
Yeah, that's something that I've done in the past. And you can even, we were talking about Facebook stalking people too, to kind of get some details that you may not have heard, you may have forgotten. But at closing, sometimes I'll surprise people with a dog tag that has their new dog's address on it.
Oh,
And the dog's name. And
that's cute.
Anything you can do to personalize, he found out these people were into their pets, so whether it be, cat or dog, whatever the case may be, but anything you can do to personalize a gift towards them at closing, I think is, something unique as well. Because not everyone's the same, you can't have the same plate with a picture on it, or whatever the case may be, which I used to think for several years. Change it up, make it personal.
Cool.
Don't remember you.